Hey everyone, H1B results are out, and if you did get your H1B, you can skip this video. This video is not for you. If you did not get your H1B this time, keep watching this video. This video is actually for you. I realize there's a lot of people who are waiting on videos of mine who are going to study abroad in fall 24. If you're one of them, make sure to check out a webinar we are hosting next week. I'm going to leave the link in the description, and you should register right now before all the seats run out. All right, so here are the two options you have right now. Let's say you did not get your H1B and you're in your first year of OPT. It is not going to be a problem at all. But if you're in your first year of STEM extension, second year of OPT, then you're worried that what will happen next year if I don't get picked up for H1B again. And if you are one of those persons who did not get H1B again after 3 attempts, your OPT first time, your STEM extension first year, and your STEM extension second year, then you are really worried because now you're freaking out. What am I going to do? Will I have to leave the country as soon as my visa is over? The answer is a quick no. There are other options, and I'm going to talk to you about those options right now. So here are all the options you have. The first option, of course, is day one CPT. You might have heard a lot of negative connotations about day one CPT, but day one CPT is completely legal because as soon as you finish your 1 year of study in the US, you can do CPT technically. Now, what day one CPT allows you to do is study in a university and also work at the same time. So there's a few of my friends who have been working in the US and they're on day one CPT right now because they were not able to qualify for H1B. Let's look into the day one CPT a little bit more. So what are the pros for day one CPT, right? It's easiest of all of the other options I'm going to present to you today. It gives you 2 more opportunities to try because let's say your course is going on for 4 semesters. So basically 2 more chances. You will be able to apply next year and next to next year while you're finishing up your last semester. Second thing, it does cost you money, but you can use your company's fund. So most of the big multinational companies or even US based companies, they offer a yearly budget of $5,000 for your studies, for your education purposes. So you can use that money and put that into the day one CPT fund. You can do all of this while working. You have no issues while traveling to India or to other countries. But the only problem, what I see for day one CPT is sometimes people enroll themselves in a university and they don't know anything about the course, and that can cause a lot of problems. The process is really quick. You can get your day one CPT letter in 1 week. That's the approval. You can literally start studying right away because it's not like the regular semester. Your semester can start within a week because they have online curriculum and they make it work so as to you don't have to leave work and all you have to do is like take 1 week of vacation. You need to make sure that you check SEVP registrations. That's the registration which day one CPT universities have, and you want to make sure that it's up to date and it's valid. And you can connect with current alumni as well to check if a day one CPT university is good or not, or is actually legit or not. Some of the cons which has been mentioned when it comes to day one CPT, first of all, is that it might be a longer time before you get your next visa. So let's say you do get your H1B, there's a slight chance of a RFE. Usually people who do day one CPT, they are doing MBA or they're doing some kind of management degree. So let's say you did your engineering degree and now for day one CPT, you're doing a management degree. Second thing is, unless the university is registered under SEVP, as I mentioned here, you shouldn't be enrolling it. Remember that. Now, here's a list of day one CPT universities. You can take a screenshot of it, and you can look at these universities yourself and see if a program fits your needs. Now, second option is, of course, our good old Canada, the northern neighbor of the United States. Canada does accept a lot of immigrants, and there was an option where a lot of people got laid off last year, and Canada was offering 10,000 visas for Indian students to come, like people who are in H1B, they can literally come and start working in Canada. That option is always there. You can still look for companies in Canada and start looking for jobs. The Canadian work process is much easier, but you should be doing it right away. As soon as you got to know that I don't have H1B visa, you should be applying for Canadian companies. Second thing you can do is, if you do have a Canadian office as well for your own company, see if you can transfer to a Canadian office rather than going back to India. Third is H4 visa. Some of you might be married to another H1B, and there's two people who have gotten H1Bs. Now, one people can, of course, sponsor the other person and bring them on as a H4 visa. That is a dependent visa of H1B. Like F2 is the dependent visa of F1, H4 is the dependent visa of H1B. In H4, you have to apply for an EAD card. But once you get your EAD card, you can literally do anything. You can start your own business. You can do part-time jobs. You can do DoorDash, Uber, anything you want. H4 EAD is very, very flexible. The only caveat is that it's dependent on H1B visa. Oven visa, you might have heard about Oven. There's been a lot of talks of Oven quite recently on LinkedIn. You'll see a lot of people like talking about Oven. They're building their LinkedIn for Oven applications. Oven is something called extraordinary ability visa. Um, Again, Oven is similar to EB1 if you have heard of that. If you haven't, I'm going to talk about it. But Oven is a little bit difficult to get. But if you are a person who has done some kind of judging, some kind of conferences, you're part of associations, you're at a project manager level, you might be able to qualify for Oven. This is something you should be talking to your lawyer. If your company's lawyer is not open to talking to you about this, you should be looking at a different lawyer. There's a lot of lawyers available. I would honestly tell you, if you think you're good, you're probably good enough. There's free consultants of Oven Visa. You should be taking that. Now comes the big one, right? Like Oven's big brother, or Oven Visa's father, so as to say. That's the EB1 visa right here. EB1 visa is the extraordinary ability visa. There are 8 criteria to get a EB1 visa. It's very difficult. Usually, EB1 visas is applied by PhD students, and sometimes they even don't get the EB1 visa. Now, here are the 8 criterias right in front of us for EB1, right? Excellence awards, membership of prestigious associations, judging of others' work, original scientific, scholarly, artistic, athletic, or business related contributions, authorship of scholarly articles. That means like writing papers, work display at artistic exhibition. This might not apply to you, but it might apply to somebody who's a photographer or in an art degree. Critical role in leading distinguished organization. So if you're a CEO, CTO, any kind of CXO at a company, then you might be qualified for this. You have a high salary. I think the high salary is qualified as 200K a year. That is what's considered as high salary. It might be more now. I think the 200K number is somewhere I read it. I just can't remember it right now. And then, of course, commercial success in performing arts. So if you're a dancer or if you're an actor and you actually got a lot of success and you have like shows and everything, then you might be able to qualify for an EB1 visa. Now, again, EB1, O1 visa is like the son of EB1. If you get O1 visa is easier to get as compared to EB1. EB1 has a lot of bar to it's a lot higher bar, simple as that. L1 visa is somebody who's transferring as a manager to the US. A lot of people who are transferring from Google or Facebook from India office to the US, they come on L1 visa. There's like limitations about L1 visa as well. But what you can do, and this is what I've seen, if you don't get your H1B right now, what you can do is like move to India for a while and then come back to the US on a L1 visa. If your company is willing to do that, and I know a lot of the companies are willing to do that if the employee is good, then you should be looking into it as well. Go to India, work there for 6 months, spend time with your family while you can, and then come back on a L1 visa. Now, the last and but not the least is the cap exempt H1B visa. Cap exempt is if you're going to a university or if you're applying for a non-profit organization, then you'll be qualified for a cap exempt H1B visa. It's doesn't matter what time of the year it is. As soon as you like enroll at a university or you get get employed at a university, they can apply for your H1B visa right away. The only problem is that coming from a cap exempt to a regular H1B is difficult. So let's say you switch your job and you get a university job or you get a non-profit job, then you'll have to do your whole H1B process and you'll have to be selected at a lottery. Cap exempt H1B and H1B, like you just can't transfer it right away. You'll have to go through the lottery process again. But again, it's better to have a cap exempt H1B than having no visa at all. So I know I went through this very quickly, but this was supposed to be a quick video explaining what are your options as an international student who didn't get H1B this time. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. But thank you so much, and until then, I'll see you in the next one. Please make sure you comment down below what other options you might have, or I might have missed, and what other questions you have about all of these options. See ya.